What is up, everybody? I am Yousef, and it is time for some street photography with funny commentary. Yo, today I'm at downtown Falls Park, Greenville, baby. We got the Sony A7C and the 28mm 2.8G. All right, G because it is gangsta. No, it's not gangsta. It's the G lens, which means it's golden. I think that's what it stands for. Can anyone correct me? Does G stand for golden? I think I've heard some people talk about that. Anyways, I'm on the streets taking some street photography, middle of July, 95 degrees outside, 30 Celsius. Look at this beautiful shot right here. Now, I decided to go out and take some photos because I need to clear my mind. And does anybody else feel that way too? They want to clear their mind. Their mind is just full of garbage. Sometimes my brain is full of garbage and I'm not thinking straight. I mean, most of the time I'm not thinking straight. And I just want to go clear my head, take some photos. It relaxes me. It's a type of therapy, quote unquote. Does anybody else feel the same way, or am I just a goofball? Which, I already am a goofball, so you don't even have to answer that question. But does anybody else feel the same way? Does street photography help relieve your brain and your mind, your goop brain, and decrease the brainworms? Unfortunately, I have a terminal amount of brainworms, so it's not going to help me, but it helps cool me down a little bit. So I'm always on the lookout for some cool framing, and I saw this framing right here, and I said, maybe there's a shot here, maybe there's something beautiful. And I decided to switch my focusing to center focusing rather than, full focusing, and boom, look at that framing. That framing is cool. Now, what am I framing exactly? I don't even know, but here we are. All right. Going up here, and I was thinking to myself, oh, I'm going to be like one of the Magnum photographers, like that famous guy. He's like, wait for the moment. So I saw this guy walking, and I'm like, oh, let me capture this moment. Wait till he's right in the middle, and then boom. Look at that. Look at that. You know what he's doing with his hand? I think he's going to pick his nose, okay? But listen, I got this shot, and I think it's wonderful. So what are we shooting with today? I'm shooting with the Sony A7C and the 28mm 2.8G, and I have affiliate links below. If you like the look of the photos that you're seeing, I'll have affiliate links below of the camera and the lens. And those affiliate links, if you purchase through them, I make a commission. I make a little bit of money. It's like 2 to 6%. It's not going to make me rich, okay, unless I make an entire channel based around affiliate links. A lot of camera YouTubers do that. It's a big source of income for them. And that's one way to make money on one way to make money on YouTube. Okay, so don't knock it. A lot of people, it's a combination. It's a combination of things. You got to get money from AdSense. You got to get money from affiliate links. You got to get money from merch sales. You got to sell your presets. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys know, but I got presets available. It's for free in your editing app. I hit auto. Okay, listen. Presets, I understand it's useful to fast track your editing. Anyways, let me talk about what's going on here. I saw this cool split framing of the lighting here and all these geese. So I was like, maybe there's a shot here. So boom, I took the shot, and I think it looks cool. I think it looks really cool. The A7C, the dynamic range of this camera, right now I'm watching a lot of YouTube videos and people are talking about dynamic range this, dynamic range that. People are saying that the Z6 III's dynamic range is dookie. And I don't think I have any complaints. I don't know how strong or good the dynamic range of the A7C is, but I can pull those highlights, and I can pull the highlights and push the shadows pretty far. There's been times where, I really love flash photography, getting that fill light into that. This guy on the left is so dapper. I love what he's wearing right here with the pink pants. I just got to comment on that. I love the look of flash photography because, not that really high key style where it's like really bright in the face, but if you even it out nicely, it just looks so crisp and sharp. This is a really nice shot here of this bridge. I love taking photos on this bridge. I've done some photo sessions with people on this bridge, and I always get them in the middle, wait till it's completely empty, take a snapshot of them or take a photo of them, and it looks really cool. It's the framing. It's the beauty of the framing. I saw some geese down there, and it just have a lot of interesting lines going on compositionally, so I wanted to frame up a shot here. Anyways, talking of dynamic range, usually I'm taking photos with a flash for portrait stuff. Yeah, see, look how beautiful that is. And all the geese there, and I feel like I got the composition really good. The dynamic range of the A7C is excellent. I usually like to take photos with a flash, but there's been times where I get the sun behind people. I wanted to get, something in the frame. I think there's a whole theme going on in this video, and me taking photos of this day is I'm trying to get stuff in front of the frame in the foreground to try to, make it more interesting. And I do that often with my photography. I try to bring something into the foreground and it makes it look really good. Okay, so as I was saying, sometimes I get the sun behind them, and what's going to happen? Your foreground is going to be in shadow. Great. I love this shot here. It's empty. We got the harsh shadows. This is around 1 o'clock, and you got really hard light coming from the top. And whenever that's happening, I try to avoid taking photos of people out in the sunlight. I wanted to take a photo of this 2.8. I look at the bokeh. I took that beautiful flower shot, and then I got this. All right, I'm not winning any awards for that photo. People think like, oh, 2.8, it's not enough light, it's not enough bokeh. I mean, look at that previous shot. That's enough bokeh for me. I know bokeh snob. I don't need that background butter. I mean, I love the look of that, but you don't necessarily need 2.8 or higher. I got my 1.8 lens, and it's incredible, but those lenses are expensive. Everybody knows. Anyways, so the sun's behind people, and I take a photo, and the foreground is going to be in shadow. I can pull, 3, 4, 5, 6 stops and bring that light back on their face. It's not going to be perfect, and I don't want it to look perfect. I don't want their face to be, evenly exposed when the sun is directly behind them. It's just enough to see their face. That's typically what I like to do. So I saw here a cool composition. And again, foreground on the bottom left there just makes the photo more interesting, gives it more depth. And then I said, let me take it to the extreme. Let me wait for a family. And I got these trees in the foreground. Snap. Look at that. They're just walking across. And it looks cool. We got the geese underneath. It just looks cool. So, I was walking here. And then this guy on the right is like, hey, you're a photographer. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking photos. And he started chatting me up.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
And basically, the conversation was his dad used to take photos in the Air Force, and he did, military photography. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Is there anywhere I can see the photos? And he wasn't like, he was just kind of repeating himself. He wasn't too responsive to that. And then I asked again, like, what's his name? Can I look him up some kind of way? Or is it just like for military stuff? So I'm not going to find it anywhere. And it was kind of like, yeah, it was just for military stuff. So I said, thanks a lot for telling me, and thanks for sharing with me, and have a good day. Gave him a fist bump and went on my way. It would have been cool to see some of the photos he was talking about, His dad was a cool military photographer or Air Force photographer. That would have been awesome. He didn't ask for any of my photography credentials, my Instagram or anything like that. Not like I'm posting on Instagram that often anymore. I like my Instagram profile for my photography is just, I stick with portraits. And with these types of photos, it's like I'm not taking any portraits. Yeah, but I've been considering taking, uploading the photos onto Instagram, these photos I'm taking. Let me know if I should do that, if I should share my Instagram profile with you. You can check it out if you want to follow. But I mean, you're seeing the photos right here. Again, here's the foreground thing. I like that. I like, to give the image a little bit of depth. I put some stuff into the foreground. Okay, so what was I talking about? Yeah, for portraits, I love artificial lighting. A lot of people, they're not into artificial lighting. It adds to the weight, it adds to the complexity. But once you get it, once you understand it, and you can even out the exposures, not having that high key, high flash style, which there's always room to take photos like that. The high key, high flash in the face style. It's kind of like very fashiony, and it's fun to take photos like that. I know how to take photos like that. And sometimes I do use a flash like that, especially when the sun is really bright behind people. But if you learn how to soften the light, if you know how to make the flash directional instead of just being straight on or bouncing the flash, it can even out the exposure really well. Your image turns out a lot crisper, a lot nicer. I saw this right here, and I was like, this is beautiful. Again, talking about the sun overhead coming down. and you get all these, the sun peeking through the leaves. And then I saw this lamp here on the right. And the interesting thing about this lamp, you can tell me, the light is on. Okay, it's 1 o'clock. It's daylight. Why is the light on? Let's turn that light off. City of Greenville. Okay, Falls Park, Greenville, South Carolina. I live about 10 minutes away from this beautiful park that I never get sick of. I never get sick of it because we got the waterfall right here. I think I mentioned it before in my other videos, but we got the waterfall right in the middle of downtown, and it's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah, artificial lighting. Are you for or against artificial lighting? Go ahead and comment below. I feel like I've met a lot of photographers in my life. I've met something like 150 plus different photographers. The majority of them, they're like, no, I don't like flash. I don't like how it looks. And a lot of times they're talking about that high key flash directly in the face look. They're not realizing that a lot of professional photos and a lot of professional portraits that doesn't seem or look like artificial lighting is artificially lit. And that comes down to maybe, education. They need to learn how to use it better. I absolutely love it. Look, I'm actually remembering to point the DJI Pocket 3 down so you can see what I'm doing. I saw this framing here and I was like, boom, let me take that shot. And then on the left, I saw someone sitting on the bench. I'm like, let me see what this looks like. We got two people, one person walking around, one person sitting down. I took that shot and it's just cool compositionally speaking, which is always my goal, to bring some kind of compositional prowess into my photos. It's one of the things that brings your photography to life. Okay, anyways, a lot of photographers, they're just anti flash photography, and it comes down to education and knowledge, And the thing is, a lot of photographers online, they're not even using flash. I would say the vast majority of people online are not using flash because it's a lot faster to just run and gun with the camera. It adds complexity, adds a little bit of time. But the quality, people don't realize, a lot of people talk about the sharpness of the lens, the sharpness of the camera. Sharpness, a lot of it has to do with light. All right. Some of the sharpest photos I've ever taken is in studio-like environments. What you're seeing in front of you right now, let me just stop for a second. What you're seeing in front of you right now is the city of Greenville. In the summertime, they'll be like for 3-4 weeks on weekday nights, they'll have movies playing in the park. So this is going to be the screen for the movies for people to watch. It's totally free. People come down. I've went to a couple times, and you sit down on the grass and you get to watch a movie with a bunch of different people. It's really fun. So they're setting up for that. And then behind that, you'll see soon, is they have Shakespeare in the park. They'll get, local schools and local performers to do Shakespeare in the park, a Shakespeare play for people to enjoy totally free. And as I was walking, I saw this kid on their bike, and I was like, you know what? Let me try to take a photo of this kid on the bike. And I snapped it, and it's a cool shot. It's pretty cool. Look at him biking. Got the helmet on, which is excellent. And now I'm walking towards, this is also part of Falls Park. It's a more secluded area. There's another waterfall in this area, and it's really beautiful. And it became the main subject of this photo series, of this street photography thing I'm doing today. You're going to see I take a bunch of photos in here, and you can let me know if they're worthy of winning awards. Okay. I'm looking out to win some awards because I need to win some money. Okay. I enjoy money. I use money, to feed myself. I use money to pay the rent. I use money to save for my retirement. All right. And to buy new gear. I've been looking at a lot of gear lately. Okay. See, this is I think this is one of the best shots that I took that day. Just a beautiful scene, beautiful composition. I got the lines really well. There's a bunch of lighting happening. You got people in the scene. There's subject. I think that's the best shot. You let me know if that is the best shot or not. Okay. So once you learn artificial lighting, and once your headspace is like in artificial lighting and you're taking flash photos, I took another, this is a really nice shot. I call this one green. Okay. You can take a guess as to why I'm calling it green. Once you learn flash photography, once you get in your head, once you master it, man, the best photos, I was mentioning earlier, people say, oh yeah, this shot right here, I love it really too, because the lighting right here, you got the light coming in from behind, and then I got it to 2.8. and you have some beautiful butteriness, some sharpness, and I got the foreground. I really love this shot. I love that shot. That shot has a lot of depth to it, and it's awesome. But yeah, sharpness, a lot of people like the camera and the lens. It has to do with light, all right? If you get the light right, if you get it in the right place, the softness right, the hardness of it right, people tape this up. I don't know why this gate is broken. I was walking here around here last week, and the gate is broken. Somebody broke into it, and I guess they put police tape on it. It just looked funny. So a lot of people think that's like a holding cell or something like that, or something for prisoners. Oh yeah, by the way, I got this shot here, and I like the way that I framed it with the waterfall on the right. That's the waterfall I was talking about earlier. You walk up these steps. A lot of people think that's kind of like a prison from the 1800s, 1700s. No, it's just a place to grow mushrooms. I think there's a school nearby. They would use that area to grow mushrooms in there, and they put a little gate to close it, keep people from going in and picking the mushrooms. So case closed. Anyways, I saw this cool shot. I don't think I got the focus on it right. I focused on the left. Yeah, see this right here. I wish I focused on the right. I think it would have been better, but it's still a cool shot. It's still a pretty shot, okay? I'm not taking the best shots. I'll tell you when they're poo-poo caca. But if I take a good shot, I'm going to know. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to toot my little horn, okay? My little itty-bitty baby horn that nobody can hear. All right, just walking over here to the right. But yeah, photography, the lighting is what makes photos sharp too. So once you master that, once you even out and soften your flash and artificial lighting, you get some beautiful results. Some of the sharpest photos I've ever taken have been in studio environments with flash happening. So here I saw, you can't see, but I saw this shot right here with the fallen log is there, and you got the leaves. So I decided to take a shot there, and then I ruin it by focusing on the foreground elements. I thought it would be cool if I did that, so I tried it, and I got some really cool shots here with the wood, or with the log fallen. I love getting the camera on the subject I'm taking a photo of, because then I can blast out the foreground, and that's what I did here. We got the lighting here, and it's all about the beautiful lighting. We got the darkness in the back and that light there. It just looks really great. And then I saw the ant, and I shot the ant. I was like, let me get the ant in there. And you may think I got the ant right in the dead center. I'm a perfect photographer. But no, I cropped it. Okay, that photo I did crop. With these types of photos, I try not to crop too much, but I was like, it's going to make the photo better. And here I am putting it on the subject again. I like doing these types of photos. I decided to focus right in the middle. And then I set it up so I went into the FN menu, and here I'm adjusting, picking my focus point. Most of the time it's in wide, but a lot of times I put it in center, and now I'm putting it in center and adjusting it so that the focus is in the background. I was like, let me try that. I think the earlier shot is better. You tell me. I try to just use the FN button on the Sony a7C. The menus are not, a lot of people complain about the menus. It's just because the menus are so, there's so much stuff that this camera has in it. So I just try to keep everything in the FN menu. All the most important things that I need when I'm shooting every single time. And then here I was like, ooh, leaves. Let me take a shot of some leaves. So that's exactly what I did. I'm going to take some shot of some leaves. It's a foresty area. Okay, and that's what a forest looks like. That shot, now that I look at it again, the exposure is kind of hot. And here I saw a little baby waterfall. And you can tell me what the fatal mistake of all these shots is. All right. And you tell me here. You look at this photo, you tell me what's wrong with it. Yeah, I should have put it in shutter priority mode. I put the shutter higher. Okay, I was in aperture priority mode, and I just let it go. It would have been better if I put in shutter priority, put a higher shutter speed so I can freeze the water, but it still looks cool. It's not a bad shot. I decided to do this overhead shot, but it just doesn't look as good. There's a light coming down, and the highlights were blown at the top of the image, but at least I tried. Okay, most of the stuff in life is trying. I think I mentioned this before, but photography, a lot of it is just failure. Failure, 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 failure. You have to fail so much and so often, and you learn from those failures. When you learn from the failures, you get better. But it's a lot of failure. And even to this day, it's a lot of failure. I mean, think of the top photographers in the world, okay? You probably know 5, maybe 10 of their images. And think about how many pictures they've taken. They've probably taken 1 trillion photos and you know 5 of their photos, okay? That's photography, all right? I got this great shot. I love this shot, actually. You know, there was a leaf sitting there. You got the water flowing. Got people way in the background. Look at that bokeh. The bokeh is beautiful. Again, 2.8, 24mm, but it still has wonderful bokeh. These little G lenses. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know what kind of... I don't know what that shot was, all right? To be honest, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I took that photo. In fact, if you close this video right now, I won't be surprised. I'm going to look at the analytics later. Everyone's going to be leaving. They're like, oh, man, that was a trap. That photo was so bad, we had to leave. And I understand. I'm not going to fault you to it. But if you continue watching, you're going to have a fun time with me. This is a cool shot right here. Now, when I clicked auto in Capture One, what it was doing every single time is it was bringing up the shadows. And it's like, I don't want that. I don't want that. Sometimes, like the photo apps, like Capture One, Lightroom, etc., they're excellent with auto. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to even out the exposure in the photo, which, you know, most of the time you want that. But for these photos, I didn't want the exposure even now. I wanted those shadows because that's what I was seeing in real life. I know it's harder to see with the DJI Pocket 3. Here's a cool shot. Again, I got some foreground there. It's hard to see with the DJI Pocket 3 because the DJI is doing the same thing. It's pulling up the shadows and bringing down the highlights, so it's more of an even exposure. But a lot of these areas were really dark because of the hard shadows. Even though it was direct sunlight, all the leaves were making this area a little bit darker than what you see here. And I wanted to capture that. See, that's more like what I was seeing. I did pull the highlights down a little bit here because they were really hot. Again, more of the foreground thing. And that's cool. I think that that's cool. What do you think of that when you have something in the foreground blocking half the shot? I think it's awesome. It just really draws your attention to where you want people to see. And then here, I always try to take a Pulitzer Prize winning photo. And this is going to be it. I'm sending it to Pulitzer Prize Association after this video. I call it bench. Bench. Right there. Why do I call it bench? Because it's a bench. All right. Now, why did I take a photo like that? Just because. Because all the photographers, you know, the famous people, they take 1 trillion photos and you only know 5, 10 maximum. And that's how it is. You got to take 1 trillion photos and then 1 of them or 5 of them are going to be good. With me, it's going to be, 0 photos. But hey, it's not stopping me. All right. I want to take the photos. I want to do photography. So here we get this like rock bench in the dirt and soil. I thought that was interesting. So I took that shot and it's cool. But I've been doing photography now for 14 years, I think. It's 2010 is when I first got... Okay, before that, for college, I bought this little Canon point-and-shoot camera that I really enjoyed. And sadly, my Apple MacBook... I had an Apple MacBook in college. The hard drive messed up and I lost everything. So 1.5 years worth of photos, boop, erased. See, this is another beautiful, it's very serene, this photo right here. Got a lot of elements going on, but I made sure that it wasn't too bright. Anyways, my MacBook Pro, the hard drive got corrupted and I lost all the photos. Yeah, that photo's I shouldn't have shown that photo. I'm actually losing integrity with the people watching this video right now by showing you that photo. So my MacBook Pro, yeah, it got corrupted, lost the hard drive, had to put a new hard drive in, and I lost 1.5 years worth of photos. A lot of photos I took in my first years of college, my first time living in America. They're completely gone. After that, I got serious about backing up my photos on Google Drive and Amazon, because with Amazon Prime, you get unlimited photo storage. This is a great shot right here too. Yeah, this is just serene. And I love the tree on the right and the path. Looks beautiful. I saw this tree. I wanted to take a photo, but I didn't have the right lens. I didn't have the right framing, so I decided not to take the photo. It's okay not to take the photo sometimes, all right? You don't have to take a photo of everything. I thought this shot would be cool. It's, you know, it's interesting. It's a little dark. Maybe I'll brighten that one up a little bit later, but it's fun. Yeah, that's when and then I saw this leaf dangling, I think maybe from a spider's web or some cobwebs or something was holding it up. So I tried to take a photo of it, but as you can see, the Sony camera was like, I don't know what you want me to focus on. I tried again, but I missed it, so I just deleted the photo. So that's when I got serious after my hard drive got messed up. The only photos I have at that time are the ones I posted on Facebook, because that's when Facebook was legit. You know, back in 2006 to 2008, it was for college students only. You used to, I don't know if you guys remember this, but you had to put the college, I think originally you had to put your student ID to get in on Facebook, but then they loosened it. You just have to put your college. It used to be just for colleges. I saw these bunch of leaves. It's not a flower, but I was just trying to find the right framing for this. So once I did, I snapped it, and I love the look of it. I love the look of this photo. Yeah, again, 2.8, f2.8, 24 millimeter, beautiful. This Sony, these little, it's that compact lens. Compact. By the way, affiliate link below if you like the look of this and you want similar performance. If you want similar photos, I make money with affiliate links. Again, 100% transparency, 100% of the time with everybody watching my videos. I will make money if you buy from that link, but it helps to support me. And I love it. It's so compact and tiny. The sharpness is excellent. Autofocus is insane. Declickable aperture. Beautiful bokeh. They're like the perfect prime lenses, honestly. And here I decided when I want to do these street photo things, I want to do some self-portraits. So I remember I took a self-portrait on this rock. I remembered that I can, you know, get it right so that it gets my framing good. And I decided to take 2 photos of myself. So apologies in advance. You're going to see my beautiful face. You know I'm a beautiful, sexy stud. All right? Don't lie. So look, there's me smiling. I decided to take a second one. And with some teeth. Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of teeth. That's what I look like. I don't know if you can tell from the YouTube profile picture. Maybe you can't. But that's me. I have a hat on because it's hot and sunny. In hindsight, I should have taken the hat off, honestly. But sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. Okay, the G lenses from Sony. Excellent lenses. Just beautiful shot right here. The highlights were blown out. I couldn't recover those highlights. I wish I could have reduced them, but that's okay. Yeah, these little G compact lenses are beautiful. The 28, 2.8, 24, 2.8, sorry. I got that one first. And I got the Zeiss 55 1.8. And I love that lens. I absolutely adore it. I really love this photo here. The composition, foreground, background. There's somebody standing there. I think that shot is a winner. Let me know if that shot is a winner. Maybe I should send it to some photo competitions or something like that. I've never entered a photo competition. I don't think I will. A lot of them seem pay to play. I don't know which ones to actually trust. And then the legit ones from Nikon and from these photo magazines and stuff, it's like, I don't know if my photos will even make it. So why even pay the fee to put it in? I love this walkway here, especially when the sun's overhead. You got the shadow from the leaves, this little road right here. I wish I could get a subject there. If somebody wants to be a subject in my photos, you know, comment. If you live in Greenville, you know, upstate South Carolina, you know, message me. Let's do a shoot. You know, we can do a little video here. I used to do, last year I did maybe 30 portrait sessions. I was recording a bunch of them. And I really love that. I love taking portraits. I love doing portrait photography. It's my favorite type of photography. But this street photography style is really fun too. This is more like just me relaxing and enjoying myself, enjoying where I live, appreciating where I live, and appreciating my skills and my abilities that I have grown into, that I have the ability to do this, and I have the drive to do it. So that's what these photos are for. But honestly, my favorite types of photos is portrait photos of people. I love taking photos of people. And I used to have a whole photography website for that last year. This is like, honestly, I should have deleted this photo. I don't know why I'm showing this one. But then I saw some people over there, and it's just like a cool shot. So I snapped that. I love this photo too. Last year, when I was going heavy on portrait photos and stuff, I had a whole section on my website dedicated to that for portrait photography. Right now, I adjusted my website, so that's not on there. But, if anybody wants to do a session, a photo session, portrait session with me, that would be really awesome. So I was walking here, I saw this couple looking at the Medusa tree. And then on the right, I noticed there's like this tiny little iron fence here. It's like, what is that going to do exactly? What is that? I mean, you can slip through the sides. I don't understand. I hope our tax money didn't go to that. Okay, I hope there's a school on the right that hopefully they paid for that. Because, yeah, that fence, that iron fence, not iron fence, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. All right. So, portrait photography is my favorite type of photography. I used to do a lot of street photography, street portraits, taking photos of strangers when I lived in Washington, D.C. Really enjoyed that. Don't do that much anymore. Now I do, or last year I was really heavily doing portrait sessions, paid stuff, and I really loved it. Love taking photos of people. I get a lot of energy. I'm extroverted. I don't know if you know that, but I'm an extroverted person. I get energy from people. That's really great shot. Just a beautiful area. Falls Park, just a beautiful area. And here I am trying to show you, trying to get the foreground element into this photo. As you can see, let's see if it works out. Spoiler alert, it doesn't really work out that well. I think the previous photo was better. Yeah, see? It was just too dark, that foreground. But yeah, I get energy from doing portraits. Yeah, what was I talking about? I was talking about the G lenses. They're compact, they're tiny, excellent quality, declickable aperture. What more do you want? So I got the Zeiss 55 and 55 1.8. I absolutely love that lens. All right, I love it. Incredibly sharp. It's older, but the autofocus is no problem. A lot of people are like, "Oh, the autofocus of the new lens is better." The autofocus on the lens is perfect. I love the Zeiss 55. But I've been considering getting the 52.5 because I love how tiny this lens is. Got a shot of the walkway right here. I really love how small this 24 2.8 is. So I was thinking to get the 52.5, maybe selling the Zeiss. I think I would want to get the 52.5 first and try it out before I sell the Zeiss. But a lot of people are saying that the 2.5 50 millimeters G lens is actually sharper than the Zeiss lens, and I have a hard time believing that because I researched it. The Zeiss lens, it's on the DxO labs, where they do all the analytical scientific testing. For Sony lenses, I think it's like top 5, maybe top 10 sharpest lenses on the Sony system, and I believe it. Because most of the time when you shoot or use high aperture lenses, I was walking here and there's like a family. I'm guessing it's like a family, but there's a bunch of kids. They're all dressed similarly, and they were taking photos. And the kids were so fun running around, being silly. I said, "Excuse me," right here as I was walking past them, going onto the bridge. But yeah, the Zeiss 55, with a lot of open lenses, the 1.8s, the 1.4s. What a lot of people don't tell you is if you shoot 1.8, 1.4, the photo is not going to be that sharp, or you're going to get a lot of bokeh, like that, the magenta or green fringing on sharp or on the edges of things. And actually, the Zeiss 55 has that pretty badly. If you try to get up close on certain elements, and sometimes certain hairs will get that green and purple fringing. Of course, you can fix it in editing, but that lens has it pretty bad. So that's the only one criticism. But as I was saying, a lot of times with these wider open aperture lenses, people don't tell you that those wide open apertures are not that sharp. And, part of it has to do with focusing, but a lot of it has to do with just the physics of it. Like having that wide of an aperture, it just doesn't result in sharpened images. I looked down for the shot. I just thought it was interesting. The shadows and the composition, the kids playing in the water. They really shouldn't be playing in the water. There's signs everywhere saying do not let your kids, don't play in the water. It's toxic. I don't know why people let their kids play in the water, but hey, maybe they'll, grow a third arm, and that'll be useful. So look at the positives here. So yeah, and then the waterfall here is like, how can you not take a photo of the waterfall? I mean, pretty much every time I walk by this bridge, I try to take a photo of the waterfall, and you're gonna see here's this beautiful photo right here, and you'll see I took a couple more shots, including this suspension bridge. A lot of people don't take shots of the suspension bridge, and that's an important element. Like, why forget the suspension bridge? I just thought compositionally the suspension bridge, this part of it, I just thought it was interesting, so I just took a shot of it. But yeah, so they won't tell you that. It has to do with focusing, it has to do with the movement of the object, it has to do with lighting. It has a lot of factors to it, but most of it is physics. Like when you just have such a big open aperture, you're just not going to get sharp images. But the Zeiss 55, it is sharp. 1.8, you can have that thing wide open, beautiful buttery background, and it is sharp. It is beautiful. That's why I love the lens. I decided to take a photo of Falls Park with the suspension bridge. I mean the waterfall. So there you go. That Zeiss 55, 1.8 wide open, extremely sharp. Extreme, like the eyeball, you can be standing, 6 feet away, like around 2 meters, and you take a photo and you can zoom in 800%. You can see my reflection in people's eyeballs at 1.8. It's so sharp. It's so sharp. I love it. And then you use flash photography with it in studio environments, it's just beautifully sharp. Absolutely love that. But I do love how tiny the G lenses, these Sony compact primes are. So that's why I want to get the 50 2.5, try it. A lot of reviewers are saying it's sharper or better autofocus. Like I saw this video from Tony Northup. He said the best prime lenses for Sony, and he put the 50mm 2.5 G ahead of the Zeiss 55. He put the Zeiss at number 9 or something. He said it's just not sharp. Maybe his, I got something in the foreground here, just took a nice shot. Maybe his copy, sometimes some lenses, certain copies just won't be as sharp as others. Mine is like insane. So I don't even know what he's talking about. If he's saying that the 50mm 2.5 is sharper than the Zeiss 55 1.8, I mean, that's crazy. That's like, that's why I want to try it. If I can get it smaller. And again, 2.5 versus 1.8, the background is not going to be hugely noticeably different. All right. You're still going to get the beautiful backgrounds at 50, 2.5. So the bokeh is not like a major concern here at those aperture numbers. So if I can get something smaller that's just as nice as the Zeiss, maybe I'll rent the lens and try it out. Maybe I'll rent it. If you want to see that, if you want to see me rent the lens and do a 55 1.8 versus the 50 2.5, let me know. Maybe I'll do a video like this, like putting it side by side. That'd be pretty fun. I'm not going to be doing those scientific, super nerdy style ones. It's like I'm going to go out with the lenses and take photos and compare, Anyways, I saw some flowers here. 2.8, 24. We got some bokeh. All right. It's not the smoothest, not the most beautiful, but you got it. You got the bokeh. Look at these beautiful flowers. Just, I saw it. I'm like, let me just take this shot. But yeah, that is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, like it, comment, let me know your thoughts, and subscribe if you want to see more. Super appreciate you watching the video. Thank you so much. Have an awesome day.